Welcome back to One-on-One Sports Webcast alongside Matt Mallion and Cole Hyman. I'm Ben Greenberg. Guys, college basketball is underway. Lots to discuss. Let's get down to business. First question is pretty simple. What is the best conference in college basketball?
In my opinion, a lot of people would say Big Ten, but I'm going ACC, and the reasons why. Obviously, they got Duke at the top. I think they're, in my opinion, they're the best team in the country this year. Even with the freshmen leading them, I think they're going to do great. And then behind that, they have the ACC also has Syracuse, Pittsburgh, Notre Dame, not to mention UNC. I mean, they're always huge. Depending on how P.J. Harrison is health-wise, they could be a tournament team. And then you can throw UVA, Boston College, and like a Georgia Tech team in there to also have a good year.
No, well, I'm a lot of people because I'm going Big Ten because this question says top to bottom, and top to bottom, there's no doubt it's the Big Ten. Yeah, I mean, you made a good point with the teams that ACC is bringing in this year, but two teams I wanted to point out from the ACC, NC State and Miami, both tournament teams from last year. Miami lost their first game to St. Francis at home. Like, who is that? They lost their first game to them at home. They're not a tournament team this year. NC State isn't. Top to bottom, obviously, in my opinion, Michigan State, best team in the country, is at the top of the Big Ten. And then you have two more teams in the top 10 on top of that, Michigan and Ohio State. And then at the bottom of the Big Ten, which is where they get their depth from, is teams like Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, who are always there year after year in the tournament as well. Last year, the Big Ten had 7 tournament teams. ACC only had 4.
Right. I mean, I think the ACC is probably the best top to bottom, which is the question. I think Big Ten definitely has some great teams as well, but it'll be interesting to see. Guys, let's move now to a new rule that was implemented and will come into effect this year in college basketball. They've implemented rules against hand checking, which will definitely make defense less physical. Is this good impact, bad impact, no impact? What do you think?
It's bad. I mean, it's going to slow down games horribly, and it already has. And if you look at the NBA also is instituting some new changes this year with hand checking and refs having an emphasis on traveling and things like that. And last year, I don't see what the problem is. Last year was the lowest average score in college basketball since the 1981-82 season, was 67.5 points per game. So what they want to do is up the scoring, but the scoring's already down. So here's one ridiculous stat. Louisville played an exhibition game against Kentucky Wesleyan. They had 64 fouls called in that game, 88 free throws in a 40-minute game, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with my buddy Matt on this one. And the reason why I say that is because the great thing about college basketball is that defense has always been emphasized more than NBA, where it's more a scoring league. You know, you got your LeBron James, Kevin Durant scoring 30 points a game. Yeah, that's interesting and stuff, but it doesn't mean anything. College basketball games always mean something. They play tough defense. And then when you implement this rule, it's kind of like, an example of this is like pickup basketball. It's that one guy that always like calls a foul on anything, just for like a little
it's totally going to slow it down.
It's going to slow it down. It's going to take away the rivalry and emotion of a college basketball game. So
a lot more boring for fans watching too.
Yeah, definitely.
I tend to agree with both of you. I mean, what's exciting about college basketball and what people like it better than the NBA is because it's a little bit more physical. People actually, play defense.
Yeah.
And so that's always exciting. Taking that out, I'm not sure about it. Well, it's a long road to March Madness. But if you had to pick a championship team right now, who would it be?
I said it earlier. I'm high on the Duke Blue Devils this year, and the reason I say it is they got, in my opinion, the best freshman, maybe one of the best players in the league in college basketball, and Jabari Parker, leading the pack this year. And they also have, a point guard, Quinn Cook, coming back from last year's team, and now they have the third era of Plumlee brother with Marshall Plumlee filling in the shoes of his two brothers that are now in the NBA. Another 7-footer. It's crazy how they have that many.
Yeah, Duke's a good team. I like that choice. I just have an issue with Jabari Parker and his ability to lead a team as a freshman. I mean, you look at Kentucky, they're full of freshmen. Their starting 5 is all freshmen. And they're all playing together. They're used to it. Jabari's going to have to come in, be the leader as a freshman, play with those seniors like Tyler Thornton, guys like that.
Yeah, okay, but let's look at teams. Let's look at some freshmen in the past that have led their teams to the national championship. Anthony Davis and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist in 2012 with Kentucky. Your boy Derrick Rose with Memphis in 2008. And then Carmelo Anthony, one of the best players in the game right now, with Syracuse in 2003. So I don't see why he can't do that with Duke this year. Everything I've seen and heard about Jabari Parker has been great, and I think he can take him all the way.
Yeah, there's no doubt he's a great player. I went a little bit of a different route. I went with Michigan State just because of their leadership that they have with Gary Harris, sophomore, Big Ten Freshman of the Year last year, and then some senior leaders in Keith Appling at point guard and Adrian Payne, who led the Big Ten in rebounding last year. So I just think that they're better suited for a championship run because they've been there before.
Two good picks. If I had to pick a team, I agree. I think it's Duke. But you know what? Only time will tell. But that does it for this edition of One-on-One Sports Webcast. Follow us on Twitter at One-on-One Sports.